Welcome back to a podcast. Today we got TJ in the house. Thank you for coming
let's
through.
go.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, guys. Cool to be here.
Yeah, have you ever been in a podcast or
No, this is first
first
time.
one?
Yeah,
There
I
you
was
go,
like,
dude.
I was getting ready, and I was like, man, I don't even know what I should wear, and like,
Yeah.
put some like Garnier Fructis stuff in my hair, like trying
Yeah.
to make it all shiny and stuff. I was like, I don't know what I should do.
Speaking about your hair, dude, last time I saw you, you had like what were you short hair? No.
Yeah,
How
I
you
just
been growing it out?
so it's kind of been like a lifelong dream of mine to or not dream, but like goal is to donate my hair one time,
Yeah.
and so like this last year, I just decided I was like I'm gonna start growing it out, and I think it's been like 18 months, almost close to 2 years, and yeah, um, after we get back from like this next trip that we're going on and stuff, probably looking at donate it because I think it's got to be like almost a foot long, and
Yeah.
I was like I don't want to be like having no hair
Yeah,
as soon as
yeah.
I donate it. I kind of want to like be able to fade it up
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, so I'm just gonna let it grow out a little bit longer.
Exactly. For those who don't know, TJ, he's a firefighter and a traveler. Would that be the word traveler, or do you have a
Yeah, I
specific
think traveler would
right?
probably pretty much describe kind of what we do.
what you do? Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I mean, are you from Salem or?
So from originally, no, but I mean from Oregon. I grew up over in a little town called like Willamina, over by like Spear Mountain Casino,
Okay.
kind of like by the beachish a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up there for like 20 some years, and then I made my way over to Salem, kind of right around the time I was like 21,
Mm-hmm.
and lived in West Salem, and then kind of moved around a little bit, ended up in South, and then moved up to Sandy for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently relocated here again last year and purchased a house down in Staten. So
Staten.
yeah, just kind of from the area. Been here like on and off like the past 5-6 years
Okay.
or so.
I thought, I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, but did you grow up with Hispanics around your town or no?
No, the community that we grew up in was like just predominantly like Caucasian people.
Because don't you speak some Spanish or
A little bit,
or
yeah.
understand?
I would say I speak more Spanish than like I'm able to like understand. Like I have a really hard time with the how quick the language is when we speak, but for the most part, like I mean, I could get around if I needed to.
Yeah,
And some words I can pick up here and there, but for the most part, yeah, I just try to stick to English and not try to get too much into trouble.
Because I remember when I met you, you were you knew a lot of Spanish words. So I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You're like, oh man, yeah, you know this and that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think I tend to know a little bit more maybe when I could drink a little
Yeah,
bit. or
okay, that's what it was, yeah.
Try to be a little bit
We're
more
playing
like
beer pong and shit.
like affluent and
Okay,
stuff,
there
you
you
know.
go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes like I was listening to a couple of your guys' episodes and I was like, oh, you know, like you'd say like entiendes and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I could like pick that up, you know. And the
Okay.
singular words, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that means.
Yeah.
But like when y'all start like talking super fast, or I'm just like, I need to break it down a little bit here, kind of slow down, you know.
Yeah, I think Frank was the one that grew up in a place where there was a lot of Spanish speaking people. I think that's what it was. I maybe got it confused. But yeah, how long you been a firefighter, dude?
So I've been doing it for like the last 10 years. I volunteered for like 3.5 and doing it professionally for like the last 6.5 or so. I started off with over in like Independence, Monmouth area, or excuse me, I started over in like West Valley, kind of where I grew up. Did like a volunteer internship program where they paid for my schooling while I did like a live-in residency. Got a lot of experience, and then when I was done with school, I was able to like start testing for jobs. Ended up in like the Independence, Monmouth area, and then kind of slowly worked my way towards like Salem and stuff. So kind of wanted to stay local. My parents live over in Willamina and stuff still, and you know, kind of wanted to be around for family stuff. And
Yeah, exactly. Is that something you always wanted to be, or are you just like, hey, I'm just gonna?
yeah, so my dad was like a volunteer firefighter for a long time when he was a kid, or not when he was a kid, but when he was when I was a kid. And so kind of being exposed to like the firehouse culture and the firehouse life, seeing how they lived, and or experiencing like the calls and stuff that they got to go on was pretty cool. And when I think I was in high school, I did like a senior project on just like fire extinguisher, something super basic. But during that time, like my sister got into like this car accident on a school bus, and she was fine. Everybody was fine, but we ended up going and like getting to see what the firefighters and stuff were doing. I was like, yo, this seems like a pretty cool like
Yeah.
gig and stuff. You're kind of like everybody's like hero in a sense.
Yeah.
And so kind of from like, I don't know, I guess when I was exposed to it when I was a kid till 17, just kind of already knew the direction that I was gonna go in.
Yeah.
So
Cool. You like it?
yeah, dude, I love it. It's like probably like the best job in the world. The guys that I work with are super awesome. I work over in West Salem, and I'm on our water rescue team and stuff, and so it's super like fun being over there. And I'd say, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like you get to be like the help that comes on somebody's like worst day, and you get to make their lives a little bit easier and their lives a little bit better, and that's like pretty rewarding.
Yeah.
And then like another super cool aspect is like you come to work, and like some jobs are super monotonous. Like, you know what you're going to be doing that day. Like our job, we have no idea what's going to happen that day.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could have a lull, or you could just be busy all day, like go, and not even have a chance to come back home and eat. You know?
Every day's different. You work long shifts? Is it like 24 hours, 12 hours, or?
Yeah, so we work 24, 48. So that's the full 24 hours on duty and then a full 48 hours off. So I just got, for instance, like I just got off work this morning at 8 a.m. and then I'll go, if I wasn't on vacation, I would go back in 2 days and go
exactly.
again.
You're in the water rescue team? Is that the people driving the truck, or?
No. So we have just a boat that we have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Rogue Jet that we picked up last year. And so we still respond to medical calls, fires, and all that stuff. We just have a boat in our house that we take out if we need to. And we got a couple rafts and a couple other things. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
That's cool. Where have you guys taking it out?
We take it down to Wallace Marine. We launch from there. We all go down all the way down to like Independence and
Just the Willamette?
yeah, pretty much just the Willamette. Yeah, and then like we'll do like just like mutual aid stuff with like some other agencies and stuff if needed. And yeah,
So you're just all in the water, basically. You
what?
have your quarters, but then you go in the water, or?
Yeah. So we have
Okay.
like a boat and stuff that we'll take out, and like I
Nice.
said,
So-
yeah.
Do you have to know how to swim to apply for the
Yeah, we have
position?
like a swim test and
Yeah,
stuff.
dude, you ain't making it, dude.
Nah, I ain't gonna make
Can't
that.
swim?
Nah, no, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like the water.
Yeah, I had a beach accident when I was like 18. I was down in like Pacific City and got
Yeah.
sucked into a cave.
Yeah.
And
Oh, shit.
so
Oh, shit.
yeah, that was like 10 years ago. But so, you know, kind of working up the courage, kind of get back in the water and stuff. We do mostly like surface water stuff. So that's,
So your calls are based out of any accidents in the water or around nearby the water, or?
yeah, like streams, waterways, the river itself. I mean, we kind of have like an all like hazards approach kind of to like anything that's like surface water related. And then like, I don't know, we do that. And then we also do like the firefighter paramedic side. So if somebody's having like a medical emergency, like we'll respond to all that stuff too. Somebody's got like a cat stuck in a tree, like we do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay, I see. I got you.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's tight. I didn't
Yeah.
even know we had that.
Yeah, we've got a few specialty teams with our department and stuff. So
Do you have to have experience as a firefighter to be able to apply for a specialty team, or can someone just come in out of school and go into a specialty team?
So the way that our department is, you have to be a paramedic first of all. So I would say you'd have to have like at least paramedic experience. When you get hired, you go through a year probation and stuff too. So if you don't have any like firefighter certifications or anything like that, or if you don't have any fire experience, I should say, other than certifications, like I feel like you could like be taught how to become a firefighter. That's kind of what probation is for. It's just like bring you up to speed on how like our department and stuff runs things. So
That's tight.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know you did that. I thought you were just like cruising down in the streets and stuff with the big truck.
yeah, no, it's a fun job, man, for sure. And like with like the other specialty teams and stuff, like typically you have like a testing process. So you'd already have to be like a member of the department to get put on to that team and go through like a testing process. And yeah, so.
That's pretty dope.
Changing the subject a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were telling us that you just started an Instagram account, and the Instagram account is going to be a little bit more for your traveling, kind of like traveling vlog, right?
Yeah, so I grew up with these two guys. One guy's name's Jake, the other one's name is Josh, and they're brothers. And we all grew up kind of together. And when, I don't know, probably we were like 21, 22 years old, we were just like, man, what do we want to do with our lives? Like kind of hanging out. And we just decided, you know, like, hey, we want to start traveling and seeing the world. And so like 4 or 5, 6 years ago, somewhere around there, we're like, all right, we're gonna pick these 3 countries, like which one looks appealing to each of us, and we picked Thailand, and ever since then, like we've picked a different location kind of every year since then, and just kind of started traveling. But this year we kind of started getting like more heavy into like the like video recording and like editing and stuff like that, and yeah, we created an Instagram account. It's like Zone 3 Abroad, and I think it's ZON, the letter or the number 3 underscore abroad. But yeah, just trying to get like the message out to people. Like traveling's not as expensive as you think it is, and like the reason we went with Zone 3 Abroad is because like Zone 3 on the airplane is like the last. Zone 3 and Zone 4 are like the last kind of people to get boarded and stuff. Kind of the people that purchase like the cheaper tickets. You know, you don't get as much leg room, et cetera, et cetera. And so we kind of travel like on a budget per se, and yeah, that's kind of how we started out, and just kind of going from there and trying to grow it.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I did see that was your first trip, Thailand, right?
Yeah,
When you guys were like 22, 23.
yeah,
So?
yeah. It was super crazy because like I'd never been anywhere out of the country before. I hadn't even been to Canada or nothing,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, we booked our tickets, and it's funny to like see how we were traveling then versus like how we're traveling now. Like we would not leave each other's side like in Thailand and stuff, because I mean it's sketchy, bro. Like it's sketchy. You're
Yeah.
a million miles away from home. Nobody really speaks English, and
Yeah.
you know you're just kind of out there in the world alone. And then
Exactly.
as we kind of got into the groove a little bit, you know, we started like branching out, doing our own things, and then like we'd come together and start doing stuff together. And
Who chose Thailand?
probably I want to say like Jake, because I like it's always been a bucket list of mine to go to like Spain and run with the bulls, and I was like, dude, I'm young, like I want to go run, like I want to go run with these animals.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, let's kind of take it easy. We heard Thailand's cheap, and we started just like we bought like a typical tourist like travel guide to Thailand.
Yeah.
And then just started checking out a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff. We were like, yo, we
Okay,
got to go to
cool.
Thailand. Like
Dude.
the culture there is insane.
Don't tell me, man, but I hear a lot of shit about Thailand, about the lady boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Have you
like,
seen that?
No, I haven't seen
No.
that.
yeah, I think it's like pretty well known out there that like a lot of the people
Yeah.
out there like do like the lady boy, the boy lady thing.
They,
where
they,
like,
they look, dude. I come across social media, and this guy's interviewing someone, and the girl. I mean, I don't know what to call him, but it looks like it is a girl, but she says she was a guy.
Mm.
But they look like a girl, no?
yeah, I mean, some of them, I don't know, like you probably couldn't even tell that they're like
You can't.
actually guys, or I don't know if that's the right term, actually.
Yeah,
guys,
I
or
don't
if
know
they're-
what the term is.
what
Yeah.
they're what they like to be called or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Like it's not like here, you know, like it's not even anywhere close to like here.
That's what they're known for, dude. Like their population, they have a big percentage of people like that. There's just a lot of stories that people say, "Oh yeah, I was at the club with someone and all this," and then out of nowhere they just whip it out, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, what kind of shit are you
Yeah.
watching, dude?
They're interviewing people in Thailand, so it's like this guy interviews people when he travels. So it's like
Yeah,
Thailand was one of them, and he's like, for the people that don't know, Thailand is known for this. And it's normal, and it's like
Yeah.
it's acceptable, it's normal, and it's nothing bad. It's just that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And that's the first question people ask any of the tourists that are not from Thailand. Hey man, have you ever come across a lady boy yet? Oh bro, don't tell me about it. It's just a fun thing that they have. But
yeah, I think it's like totally their norm.
Yeah.
I've seen tons of travel documentaries where they talk about that,
Yep.
and it's just like it's no different than like you go into the grocery store or something. Like that's just their thing, you know. So yeah, we've experienced that there, and then when we went to Bali too, and they had a lot of like the like transgender people over there too. And,
where's Bali? It's in
Bali's in Indonesia.
Indonesia?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in Southeast Asia and stuff too. I think it's like southwest of Thailand. So they've got like over 17,000 islands over there.
Oh,
so
damn.
17,000.
yeah,
Over
it's just like a
17,000?
huge. I think archipelago is like the term for it. But yeah, it's
That's
wild,
crazy.
dude. Like there's so many different islands, and each one has its own like vibe to it. And yeah, it's
So you guys booked the tickets to go to Thailand, and you said you guys paid for a tourist what did you call it earlier?
What do you mean?
So when you booked tickets, you went to Thailand, and would you buy a brochure that kind of like gave
Oh
you,
yeah, it's like traveling to Thailand for idiots, or like one of those books,
Okay.
like
Oh, okay.
things to do and see that like other tourists and stuff recommend.
was it smooth, or did you guys just get there and you're like, what do we do?
So yeah, we had nothing booked, man. We had the first hostel that we booked to go there, and other than that, man, we were just like kind of just going by the feel of things that like we wanted to do. Like we flew into Bangkok. There, like over 2/3 of the entire population of Thailand live in Bangkok. So there's just like skyscrapers that are like 40, 50 stories tall, and like there's no traffic lights hardly anywhere. So you're just like drive like super defensively and whatnot. And we were like, yo, we got to get out of here. Like there's a lot of stuff to do, but like Thailand has so much other things to see, like out in the outskirts and the countryside. And so we took a plane up to Chiang Mai and just kind of talked with some people in the hostel that we stayed at. And that's kind of how we found out a lot of stuff that we wanted to go do, was just like immersing ourselves with all of the other people that were going out and doing stuff. And yeah, we literally book nothing for our trips until we get there. And we're going to Vietnam tomorrow, and we have our first nights booked, and we're going to be gone for 6 weeks. So
Dang.
we have no itinerary.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd have anxiety, dude, not knowing what I'm gonna do.
We kind of ran into that a little bit when we went to Portugal. It was like right immediately post COVID. We went over there, and typically like when you travel, like you can just book stuff out. Like if you end up liking a place, you can like extend your stay or whatever. Well, there like we were running into problems left and right where we couldn't do that, and so we were like having to like move to like different towns that were close by to the area that we wanted to go to, and trying to figure out like how to get to places was another issue, because like Portugal has like public transportation and stuff, but like Southeast Asia, you could just buy a moped for like, I think we rented them in Thailand for like 2 weeks. It was like $50.
Yeah.
And so you could just go make your own plans and do whatever you want because you have transportation. And so,
Damn,
yeah.
that's clean. I think that's fun though. I mean, just going there and figuring it out.
Yeah, we watch a lot of YouTube too. YouTube is like the pinnacle of like self-help or like guides on like
People
what
that
to
travel
do.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I
What
think
not to do.
exactly. Yeah, like the certain rules in Thailand, like they've got like the people that are on their like bills and stuff are royalty. It's part of the Thai royal family, and so like it's super disrespectful if you like step on their money, or like, for instance, if you like touch people on the head. The head's like the most sacred parts of their body, and so like you don't go up to people and like pat them on the head like little kids or nothing. Yeah, so it's just like learning like the
Little things like that.
Uh-huh.
I've heard in some places they don't. They find it kind of rude to leave them a tip as well if you're dining out.
Oh,
or
I heard that
eating.
too.
Is
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
Have you experienced that or?
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
really. Or?
kind of, not really. I mean, like in Southeast Asia, like the inflation there is like super bad. And so, I mean, if you got a couple extra bucks like to throw down on the table, I've never had anybody be like, "Oh, that's so rude." But I have heard that before, where like people or cultures like pay their employees well enough to where like they think tipping is like,
So it's more of like maybe the UK, France, or something like that.
yeah,
or
probably I would say something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. And then some places too, they add gratuity into like the bill and stuff too. So, but I mean, like in places like Thailand, like you could eat for 5 meals a day, like under $10 easy. Like, and I mean, it's good homemade food. Like you got this lady that just cooking noodles out of the side of her house.
Yeah.
Like it's good.
It's good culture, yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
like that's how you know like where the good food is, because like they'll have like their little hut where they have like a bed set up in the back, and like they'll live there and then cook just right out of the front of their house.
yeah.
That's crazy. They
Yeah.
do that in Mexico too.
Yeah.
They just like convert their garages into like little restaurants, and they got their tables in
Little
there and
convenience
everything.
market too.
Convenience market.
Yeah, I
within the
miss that,
house.
dude. Like, I don't know why the culture of like America hasn't picked up on that, but like, dude, it's so cool when you can just like walk around the block and there's like 5 little tiendas just
Yeah.
ripping, selling like stuff. And the biggest thing too is like ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
walking around just like picking up popsicles or like the Magnum bars or.
Yo.
I noticed a lot of places are like that. I don't know why the U.S. But is there a specific spot? Do you guys like to go to the touristy places, or do you guys like to go like out of the touristy places, kind of more like local, more, get to know the culture?
Yeah, we do like a mixed bag, because I mean, like, it is really fun being in like the affluent part and like the busy areas, but like you can only kind of like that for so long. And then like for instance, when we went to Thailand, like we went to Bangkok, I think for 4 or 5 days in total. And then up in Chiang Mai is kind of like the more countryside, where like we got out and we got to experience the culture. We went to like the elephant sanctuaries and did like that kind of thing. And then same thing with Bali, like you fly into Kuta and you get to experience like the party scene, for lack of a better term, like the urban the urban area where kind of everybody's hanging out. There's a lot going on. But then you go down to like Uluwatu, which is on like the southwest end of the island, where it's just like kind of super laid back, surf town vibes. Not a lot's going on there other than people are just like hanging out, chilling. Same thing with like Ubud and stuff in Bali as well. Like you get to go to like the monkey forest and see all that stuff. So that's kind of touristy. But like, you know, we also, when we were over in Bali, we booked like a 4-day long trip where we were on like just a boat sailing around like the ocean for like 4 days, and our crew was all from Bali and or Lombok, I think. And so trying to talk with them, you know, pick up on like what their lives are like, is pretty cool, dude, to get to experience like their lives through their eyes and whatnot, and still be able to have fun and do all that stuff at the same time.
That's pretty
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever record it, or you just?
I mean, very amateurly. Like
Yeah.
I remember like a lot of videos that I have on my old GoPro is like a
Yeah.
Hero 4.
Yeah.
There's no gimbals and no self-stabilizer.
Yeah.
So a lot of the videos you take, dude, like are super shaky. And
Yeah.
I mean, you'd only have certain clips that like come out perfect. And then like we didn't know that there was microphones and speakers and stuff
Oh,
like
man,
that.
there's-
So like
yeah,
a
there's
lot
a
of the
lot
video
to
quality is
this.
pretty
There's
poor.
a lot to it, yeah.
But like, I mean, you could get like a nice like 5-second, 10-second clip to make like a cool reel or something out of, or pull photos from. And we actually just bought like these Insta360 cameras from I think it's like Insta360 is the company, but they're 1x2 cameras, and it's a super rad little camera. It's like probably, I don't know, this big, and it's got a cool little fisheye lens on it and everything, and it lets you film 360, and you can literally like record like a 30-second clip just from like say inside this room, and during that 30 seconds you can pull any clip you want from the entire 360 and stuff. And so messing around editing videos with that has been like an experience and whatnot, and that's kind of I think what got us into like actually wanting to do this stuff, is like having like better quality shots and stuff to like edit out, and you know, just learning the process of editing. Because when we were over in Thailand and stuff too, like you would take a video for like 5-10 seconds and you wouldn't have enough footage to go in and like clip stuff out or edit stuff. And so we were like, well, we need to take like 30-second long videos or like a minute long videos so that we can have stuff to pull from and still have enough left over to do, you know, like whatever else with. So
What we've done, or what I've noticed, is because we're new to the whole recording as well.
yeah, you guys' setup is like legit. Like it's cool in here.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
But what I've noticed is, even if you think you're only gonna need those 10 seconds, I just record, and you know, once you start editing, you could cut certain things out, or
Yeah.
bits and pieces, maybe a minute long, and it gives you a whole video. But that's what I noticed, because at the beginning we were the same way. We were kind of like, oh, let's just record this and this, but now it's like they just keep them rolling, and then we'll grab bits and pieces from certain ones. But
Yeah, we noticed that a lot, is like most of like the banter and stuff back and forth between crews, like somebody gets irritable or whatever, like that's usually when all the funny stuff happens, and we're like, why are we not recording all this?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
So, and then I think another thing too that we like started realizing is like how much storage you need for videos. Cause like the little SD card that I bought, I bring in like 256 gigabyte like SD cards with us just for this trip. And I don't even know if that's going to be enough, but
No, that won't be enough.
yeah, dude, it's
No.
like,
Yeah.
You need a hard drive, bro.
well, I've got a terabyte hard drive.
Yeah,
I've got a
you need
couple
a
of those.
terabyte.
And so I've been like backstoring all my footage and stuff on there, and like just got a new MacBook and stuff with like a higher processor so that I could like actually go through and look at the videos, because trying to edit stuff on a laggy like operating system or processor, I don't even know what it is called, but it can be a pain. So
Yeah, when we started, I think I bought like three 512 memory cards, and we only do this once a week, and there's one for just audio, and then there's another one for just the visual, and we fill those up. The terabyte hard drive is almost full too.
yeah,
But usually what I do is we'll move it to the hard drive and then delete it off the memory card, and then just keep it rolling. But yeah, that if you guys are recording all like multiple hours a day, that
Yeah.
thing's gonna get filled quick.
yeah, we were thinking probably like 1 to 2 hours a day, but luckily like I've got my camera set up, and then Jake's got his camera set up with like a drone, and then his brother Josh has like another
nice.
couple memory cards too. So altogether we should have what is 1,000 gigabytes is like a terabyte or something like that.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, so we should have about a terabyte worth of footage and stuff, but
Plus your computer, and
yeah, see, and I don't know if I want to bring my computer over there
that's
too.
a nice
So
computer to take out there. Yeah.
yeah, because it is kind of sketch, like staying in hostels and stuff. Because have you guys ever stayed in a hostel before?
No.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's just like it's like a cheaper thing than like a hotel. Like they've got hotels and stuff, but like other companies would just like, I don't know, like they'd cut this section into like 3 dorm areas.
Yeah, okay,
It's a
that's what it
dorm.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where just random people just go, right?
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got female only dorms, they've got
Yeah.
co-ed dorms, they've got private rooms. So it's just like you pay for what you get essentially.
How is that? Is
it
that
could
pretty
be
sketchy or what?
I mean, I've never had any issues, dude. Like for most part, like the travelers and stuff are just super like chill, and so I've never had any issues with like
Yeah.
people rifling through my stuff or nothing. And it's kind of just like a thing, like you respect other people's like area, you know, they typically respect yours. And a lot of the hostels that we've been to though too have like little like lock boxes and stuff that you can put your stuff in. But I mean, if somebody really wanted to, they could probably get into it. But I think it's just like that sense of security, you know, that like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
all my stuff's in there. But
Yeah.
I typically carry like a backpack when I go around, and that way I have like water and stuff, because like
Yeah.
trying to find fresh water in Southeast Asia is like impossible. Like you're just drinking
damn.
bottled water all the time. And
You guys have to ration your water when you guys go out then?
not ration though, but like if you're not near a store or anything where you can buy like a liter of water, like it can be kind of daunting, because I mean, dude, it's like 90, 100 degrees out there with like
Oh,
100%
damn.
humidity, so you're just sweating all day. And
Yeah.
so it's definitely different than here. But like I've been to places like too, like Guatemala and like Costa Rica, where they'll just take the tap water and they'll put it through like a volcanic like ash filter, and they'll just let it drip down into the cooler, and you'll have fresh water like that. And I've never gotten sick from drinking the water, so I mean, they must be doing something right.
Right.
So
It's probably better than ours.
yeah.
Yeah. You've been to Guatemala, Costa Rica, Portugal, Thailand. Were you in Brazil or no?
No,
That was Portugal, huh?
Yeah.
That statue.
Yeah, Portugal.
Okay.
They're mirrored. That one's way smaller than the one that's in Rio. But
Yeah. I was like, no, that's not Brazil. I'm like, I think that's Portugal, but.
yeah, that statue is cool. It's called Cristo Rey.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah, I did see the.
Yeah, we walk up to the top of it, and it's like 100 some meters up or something like that, and you just like overlook the city of Lisbon, and Lisbon's like probably one of like my top 2 cities that you have to go to.
Lisbon?
Yeah, there's Lisbon and Porto, which is like the 2 big.
That's their big one, right? Lisbon.
yeah, it's
Lisboa?
like- yeah, Lisboa.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got like a soccer team and stuff from over there.
I only
and,
know that because of soccer.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, Portugal was like absolutely beautiful. Like the weather's super amazing over there. The water's kind of cold too, but
Yeah.
surfing's still like a big scene over there. And the food there is amazing. Yeah, like the food there is like top 10 for sure.
Damn.
Damn, dude.
Top
that's
10.
beautiful. Is there a different country that maybe I didn't mention
Let's
that you've gone to?
see. Yeah, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Bali, Portugal, and then Thailand, I think are kind of the big ones. I
And then-
soloed a trip down to Costa Rica, and that was like totally different than anything I'd experienced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met this guy named Marcos. They own this hostel called La Botella de Leche, and he's like a surf instructor down there. And so he was like, yeah, anytime you want to grab my boards, he's like, just come to the shop. He's like, I'll open it up for you, and you can come surf with us, or you can surf by yourself. And
Yeah.
super cool. We back to that culture thing that you were asking about earlier. Carlos worked there with his dad, and I think they owned it together. Or Marcos and his dad Carlos owned it together, and we got in super tight with them. Like I went over to Marcos' house, and we were like partying, playing like beer pong and stuff in the middle of his apartment in Costa Rica. And you know, I'd only been there for like 5 days.
Yeah.
And super cool dude. And then one of the nights we were there too, him and his dad cooked us all dinner, and like they're from Argentina, so like it was like this just nice Argentinian like
Yeah.
pasta dish, and yeah, it was good.
Nice.
So
Oh yeah.
it's like super important, I think, to get into like the cultural aspect and see how other people live,
Yeah.
especially because America's just like such a blending pot. Like being an American, like it's hard to have like your own like culture.
Yeah, it is difficult. I've seen it, but in Costa Rica they speak Spanish, but do they speak English though?
Yeah,
I heard that they speak English. Right?
Yeah, I would say that for the most part, a lot of people like, I don't know, throw out like an arbitrary number, like at least 50% of the population
Did you know
speaks pretty decent English.
No, I didn't know
In
that.
Costa Rica?
I
Yeah,
didn't know
I've heard they speak English. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like expats from America and stuff there too that go down there, because Costa Rica is cool. Like if you travel down there, I think it's them, There's like El Salvador. I think Belize is another one, and I can't remember the fourth one. But once you get a visa for one, you're eligible to enter all four of those countries with the same
I
visa.
see.
So
Did you need a visa to go to any of the countries that you've been to?
the only one that I've needed one so far is Vietnam. It was like $10, and you apply for it online, and you just have to put like the day that you enter the country, the day that you're leaving the country, like your flight number, stuff like that, and then like where you're gonna be staying. And you only have to put the first address that you go to. Other than that, they kind of just let you do your whole thing. Because Vietnam's like a super long strip. I think it takes like 16 hours to drive it by car. And so we're flying into the south end, and then we're gonna make our way through like overnight trains and mopeds and stuff all the way up north to Hanoi, and then kind of go from there. So
The mopeds are the little, what do you call it, scooters? Or
yeah, they're like 125 cc's, or you can get like
Yeah.
150 cc's, and it's pretty wild over there because like we have Uber here. There they have an app called Gojek, and so Gojek's just like a rideshare app, just like Uber,
Yeah.
but instead of picking you up in a car, you have this guy come pick you up on a scooter.
Yeah.
So like you get done doing whatever at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you call your Gojek, and you can ride like 2-3 deep on one of these mopeds, and they just take you home, dude. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed they use that a lot of countries. Mexico uses them, but not as I don't think not as much as Thailand.
Yeah, they're huge over there. Like I would say probably 70% of the people have mopeds
yeah.
versus like cars and stuff
Yeah.
because they lane share and they ride on like sidewalks and stuff, and they do a lot of crazy
Don't
things
give a
over
shit,
there.
they're
And
just-
dude, you see a lot of people wrapped up in like bodysuits from like going to the hospital and stuff because they don't know how to drive, and like
Damn.
make a wrong turn somewhere because they drive on the opposite side of the road over there. Oh, I've been to Ireland and Paris too. That's what it reminded me because they drive on the opposite
Yeah.
side of the road over in Ireland too.
Did you like Paris or?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was very touristy though. So like we stayed in we flew into Ireland, checked out that for like a couple weeks, and then we had like a little 4-day trip over to Paris, just where we like
Yeah.
went and sight saw and did like typical touristy things, checked out like the Eiffel Tower, the catacombs, just like a walkabout of the city. And I like trying the food. So I tried like escargot and like went to like their patisserie shops and had all their
Yeah.
coffees and stuff. And
I see.
the food's so much different because like in America, you go to like a bakery and stuff, and the stuff is like so sweet you can only eat like half of something, or like you're kind of sick after eating there. There like the sugar content is like way lower or something. I don't know, but the food, I mean, you could just go ham on it.
Yeah.
Like it's typical for be gone for like a month and gain like 5-10 pounds because you're trying everything, dude. And like
Exactly.
that's the best way to experience culture, man, is through food.
I bet.
Yeah.
What's the most different thing that you tried in any country that you really liked?
I don't know, man. Probably some of the meat that you try, because like I mean, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is. Like they say it's one thing, but like you look and it's just like, well, I mean, does this person really go to a butcher? Like I have no idea. So maybe some of the meats, but like tried snails too. That was kind of crazy. Like
That
escargot
is
wasn't super
crazy.
bad. It was good, dude. I
That is
liked it.
crazy.
And then over in Portugal, they had these things called limpets. They have them on like the Oregon coast and stuff, but they're like half of a sand dollar size kind of. And the fishermen, I guess, go out and just like knock them off of the rocks and stuff. But you grill them up in some like garlic butter sauce, dude, and they're like A1. So yeah, and then some of the snacks too, like how here you could get like Cool Ranch Doritos or like whatever flavor you want, barbecue. There a lot of the stuff is like fish flavored. So you got like shrimp flavored chips and like fish flavored chips and like regular chips, and so that's just like one of the things is trying all the snacks and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah,
bro,
dude.
this kind of tastes weird. Like I don't really like
Yeah.
that, but
Damn.
With John too, when he tries new meats, he always asks like, "Oh, what is this?" I'm like, "Dude, try it first, and then we'll tell you what it is." 'Cause
Yeah.
if we tell you what it is, you might not want to try
gonna
it
eat it.
anymore. Yeah.
yeah, I've been to going to like the trucks around here and stuff. They've got like cabeza tacos and like lingua tacos and stuff. but-
Tripa.
Yeah.
Yeah, tripa. Yeah, we.
Yeah.
I used to work at a butcher shop, and that's kind of where I started learning Spanish, just because like I was the only like English speaker there, other
Yeah.
than the boss. Everybody else spoke Spanish, and so it was like, hey, if I want to talk to these guys, like I need to, kind of be able to translate a little bit, or at least talk to them. And I think it was Thursday, dude, was our kill days, and so they'd come in, butcher out all the cows, and they'd have fresh tripes. They'd like pull them out, clean them all out, and cook them on the grill and stuff, and cactus tacos, and like
Yeah.
it was nice, dude. Tried a lot of good food, like the Humanex drinks. Have you guys ever had those? The little can ones, dude. It's like
Humex.
Oh yeah.
What are they called?
Humex.
Humex, yeah,
Yeah.
Humex, yeah, dude. Those are bomb. And then
Yeah.
the jarritos or
Yeah,
whatever.
those are fire.
Yeah,
The Humex is
Yeah.
fire. Did you see that Jarrito came up with their new drinks with liquor in them now?
yeah, the hard
Oh,
ones.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Yeah, I met
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in store, but I saw them online. They look pretty. That
They
looks
went
pretty
hard.
tight.
They came
Yeah.
out with shoes with Nike.
Oh yeah, the
And
SBs,
then-
Jarrito
Really?
SBs. Yeah, recently in like the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and then the drinks. Damn, I haven't tried it. Have you seen them?
No, I haven't even seen them in person.
No.
Yeah, I've never
Just
seen them
just
before.
online. I don't know if they have them in our area yet or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a buddy of mine that lives down in Arizona, and he was like showing me that he was drinking them, and I was like, dude, we don't even have those in Oregon. Like,
Did he say they were fire?
yeah, they
Yeah.
said they were really good. I mean, their drinks in general are good. I could
Yeah.
imagine they'd be really
I'm
good.
sure they get dips down there first. Everything,
Yeah, dude.
everything and down in Texas, Arizona, and then it works its way up here. 'Cause
Yeah,
I remember when I was down there, dude, there was so many things that, what the fuck, we don't even have in Oregon. But I think they try out the market and
I think people's taste buds here are kind of bland. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, it could be.
Probably.
that could be
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it could. But yeah, dude, that's crazy. Have you ever been to a place where you're like, damn, dude, I don't know if I should be here. Like, fuck, sketchy. I'm scared or.
Yeah, man. We were like down in Guatemala, and we were at this place called Lake Atitlan. It's like one of the big like lakes down there, and it was like kind of like right in the middle of COVID and stuff. And so we went to like a speakeasy and whatnot, and like it kind of got sketchy because we were like some of the only tourists there. Everybody else was like kind of locals, and I was like trying to film with my GoPro, and you could just feel like eyes on you, and we were like, yeah, we should probably get out of here. Like it's just like you get that gut feeling, and we were like, yeah, we should probably dip on out of
Yeah.
here too. But that was probably one of the wildest ones that we've ever experienced. But other than that, man, I would feel safe, just as safe as I feel here in like another country. And
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people get sketched out about traveling, and I don't know, man. I think it's just the unknown, the fear of the unknown. Because we've never experienced that where anybody's like showed any like malice or anything towards us. So
Yeah, I don't think it. I think it goes back to the saying, mess with someone, or you're doing bad things, then you're eventually gonna.
exactly,
you know.
dude. Yeah, like if you go trash somebody's things, like you
Yeah.
expect them to be mad and
Or whatever the scenario is, or disrespect someone. You don't know who you're disrespecting in the
Yeah.
club or whatever the scenario is.
yeah. But for the most part, dude, like it's crazy too because in all of our travels, I would say that I've only experienced Americans that are traveling to probably less than like 5 times. Like Americans just don't travel outside of the United States unless it's to like Mexico, and they typically stay if they're from Oregon. I've noticed all the West Coast people stay on like the Puerto Vallarta side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't go to like Cancun or like not Mazatlan, but like the Isla Mujeres and other places. I don't know.
Baja.
It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know why people don't try to get out of the states more.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, yeah.
Like, have you guys done much traveling outside the U.S. or anything?
Just Mexico, man.
Yeah.
Just Mexico. Did your family travel a lot while you were growing up?
No, that's what's so weird, dude. Is like I grew up in like typical small town USA.
Yeah.
Like our like claim to fame was like we're like a super big lumber town, and so nobody really left, dude. Everybody either worked at the mill or
Your
worked-
prison.
Yeah, the prison
Yeah.
or the casino. Like my mom worked at the prison, and so did my dad. And we did like camp trips and stuff. Like me and my dad would go over like Montana and Idaho and do camping and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. It really sparked the bug, dude. But I was just like, man, I want to go see the world.
I think for us it's probably more of like our parents and stuff, because we didn't really grow up traveling a lot. It just wasn't a thing that they did. I mean, dude, I don't. Growing up, maybe even camping, but our definition of camping is way different than other people's definition
Yeah.
of camping. Like our definition of camping is going out to a campsite and then going to a hotel at night.
Really?
Like, yeah, we don't even like stay in tents and stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, no, man.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
we never done that. I don't know. Growing up too, I just remember my parents working all the time. Like we hardly ever went out, and if we went out, like a treat would probably just be going to the coast, just like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there wasn't really much traveling. Now that we're getting older, I think we're the ones that are taking them out more,
Yeah.
and kind of showing them. But they
Yeah, because
weren't-
how old are you guys?
I'm 27.
Yeah.
34.
Nice. Yeah, I'm 28, so we're kind of in that same age group. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know though, but one thing that me and my girl have always really liked watching together at night, like when I get home early and we turn on TV for like an hour before we go to bed, we usually watch International House Hunters, and I think that that's pretty cool, and that's like where I see a little bit of like different countries, and I really like watching that. So I find that really interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of our my inspiration. You guys remember Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah.
Dude, watching his he had like a food show where he'd just go around the world and try different foods, and he'd like cook with people, and he'd meet up with like local tour guides and stuff that would take him around, and he would experience like culture that way, and that was like super motivating to see like all the just bomb looking food that was on the TV, and then have somebody that speaks like so just eloquently and like crisp as like Anthony Bourdain did, and just his like kind of carefree lifestyle is just super motivating to get out there. And I think there's a huge culture shift here too with like the work life balance from like our parents, where they work kind of to live, versus like I feel like now the younger generations are kind of more venturing out into like or like pursuing things that they know that they can make money in, so that they don't have to spend all their time working. They can make money passively, or just kind of go experiencing things and kind of work or worry about work later, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah, I think that's a big shift. I think that's why like Uber and Uber Eats and stuff, people are doing like more contracting work now, because they work whenever they want, instead of doing like a 9 to 5 or something like that. I think that's a big reason why.
Yeah. Question: do you ever do YouTube videos or?
No, I mean,
No?
we're so fresh, and we're just like
Yeah.
kind of starting off. I mean, we eventually like want to get into it, but like we got to figure out like all the video editing stuff.
Reason I asked is because I used to follow. Oh, I didn't follow him. I just looked at his videos and liked his stuff. But is this? I don't. I think he was from the U.S. or the U.K. I don't remember. This guy has traveled to a lot of places, and he's usually recording. He's got like a camera. He's just walking around Colombia, Salvador,
Yeah.
anywhere, and it's pretty cool. Like it kind of takes you there. Like if you could kind of visualize what he's going through.
Yeah.
And he's walking around, it's like, oh shit, like damn, these guys are looking at me, and I probably should just go this way. So and he's by himself, dude. He's not with anybody else. Reason I say is because I've always on YouTube, when I used to watch a lot of videos, I used to always go to like search different countries. You know what it is, how it is to kind of be there, and a lot of travelers were used to do that.
Yeah.
And they still do, but when COVID happened, it kind of got restricted a little bit. I forget his name, dude, but.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
actually-
few of them that
yeah.
are like the old schooler YouTubers that started it off. Like one particularly, I know that his name's Drew Binsky. Follow him quite a bit because I think he's seen every country in the world, and he even went to like North Korea, because like some countries you can't get visas from the U.S., so you have to travel to another country, pay absurd amounts of money to get the visas to get into the other countries. And like North Korea was one of them, and I want to say like Iraq or Iran is another one.
Are we even allowed in North Korea?
I don't think so right
No,
now.
huh?
No, I don't think there's too much political stuff going on. But I don't know. I personally, I don't know if I'd ever want to go there.
I would not want to go there.
But I mean, I guess if that's your goal. But then there's another guy too. His name's Calling a Broadcast, and he just goes around and he does like haggling videos, because like in Southeast Asia, like they'll give you an American price. They know that you're from like, you know, they see your skin color or whatever you get profiled. They know that you've got money, or they know that you can afford whatever arbitrary number that you throw out, and they'll be like, yeah, this Gucci bag's $500, and you're like, I know it's fake Gucci, like
Yeah.
you know, or Louis Vuitton, whatever. I mean, and so you haggle with them, and I mean, you can end up getting backpacks and stuff for like $5-10, or like
Yeah.
I remember one time like we came back from Thailand, and I had this. I can't remember the brand, but it was some like well-known like UK brand, and there was like a little like moisture inside of the bezel and stuff. John Wellington, I think, was the watch brand. But this girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh, is that a John Wellington?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it is. It's real." You know. And she's like, "Why is there water in the bezel then?" And I was like,
I broke it.
I bought it in Thailand.
Yeah,
Don't blame me. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every time we go there, I usually come back with like 5-10 pairs of like Ray-Bans or Oakleys, and you know, they're just like nice little sunglasses that look good, and they don't cost a whole lot of money, and so it's it's pretty cool going over and haggling. They expect that too.
Yeah.
I mean, all the locals, they know that haggle and
Yeah.
stuff.
But
and
yeah,
so,
you're always gonna get the higher price. I mean, it happens
always.
a lot of places. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I do the
Yeah.
same thing. If I could get $50 for a bag when
Like,
it's
this.
cost me $5 to
Yeah.
make, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys have money. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's were you gonna ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, dude, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh, dude, I was gonna tell you, dude, you're not gonna take a beer with us or what?
Dude,
Just get one.
Drink, dude.
Huh?
I'm awake now. Whenever you guys get another one, I'll get
We're gonna
another
get
one.
another one right now.
I think I'm good. I'll stick
Oh,
to
okay.
just one though. Appreciate it
Take
though.
one, dude.
I don't want to dip in your guys' supply.
Nah, dude, that we refill every week. Don't worry about our
There
supply.
you go. Yeah, it's crazy the beer scene in like other countries and stuff. Like for instance, you guys know 10 Barrel, the big brew
Yeah.
company out of Bend.
Yup.
They had 10 Barrel over in Thailand.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, it's like $10 a pint because it's not domestic, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had other beers like Singha and God, I can't even. Or Chang beer, I think was the other one too. And dude, they're good. I mean, like, and you pay like a beer like this in Thailand would be like $1. Like, I mean, they're cheap.
Damn.
Dude, your buddy Manchas, I saw on Snapchat that he was in
He's in Japan right now.
and he went to a Mexican restaurant in Japan.
Oh, yeah,
And he
yeah,
took
yeah.
a picture of was it a Corona that he had over there?
Oh, for real?
But the Mexican restaurant was like you could tell it was like
Yeah.
a Japanese.
It wasn't
Japanese building,
Corona.
like-
It was just
what was
a
it?
Japanese beer.
No, it was a Mexican beer
Oh,
inside of a Mexican restaurant.
Maybe.
I know it was Corona for
Yeah.
sure. It was Corona, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we got a buddy of ours. He's in Japan right now.
What's he doing? Just traveling or what?
Just traveling.
Just wanted to go. He said he's always been wanting to go to Japan.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude.
He went to the most famous Starbucks in Japan too. He
Yeah.
took a snap of
He's
that
in,
too. It's interesting.
Tokyo. Obviously, that's a big city.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's where we're
Huge.
flying
It's a
into.
mega
We've got like
city.
a 10-hour layover in Haneda, which is I think at the Tokyo airport, and
Mm-hmm.
then we've got another one that's like I can't remember the name of a city, but I think like Steve Aoki made a song about it or something. But like
Oh,
that's
yeah?
our other airport, and we've got 10-hour layovers in both.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
so
a long time.
instead of like sitting in the airport, you know, we usually kick our bags like a baggage claim area, and you pay like $10. They watch your stuff for you, and then you could go out and explore the city, and you don't have to like carry your bags around versus like sitting in the airport doing absolutely nothing for 10 hours. Like,
So, you're gonna go from Portland or from Portland,
yeah.
and you land where?
So we fly to LAX. Well,
LAX?
we booked one ways just because I mean we don't know where we're gonna end up. So we're already over there. So
Then you'll.
yeah, so we're going to LAX for like 2 hours, hang out over there. Then we fly to Haneda in Tokyo, spend a 10-hour layover there, and then we fly over to Saigon or Ho Chi Minh, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we start our trip, and then somehow we're gonna make our way up to Hanoi, and then that should take us anywhere from like 3 weeks to a month. And from there, I think we're flying into Bangkok, and then I don't even have my plane ticket booked home yet. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
that's. I mean, I think that's just fun though. I mean, like you're just living life. I
Yeah,
feel like
that is
exactly,
fun.
dude. And like
You're
we've met
just-
so many people that do that too,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's the best way to do it because you're not on a schedule. Like you could wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning and have no idea kind of what you're gonna do for the day. And like one of the things I like to do is I like to go check out like the local gym scenes and stuff, just because I like working out and stuff while I'm abroad. And CrossFit's huge over in other countries, and then like you just go to like a basic gym too. It's like $250, $5 a day, and you just go work out for a little bit. Everything's in kilograms too, so it's kind of crazy
Yeah.
doing like the weight conversions and stuff. But it's just experiencing culture, man. I mean, it's no different than it is here. They've got everything that we have. It's just a little bit different, and they put their own little twist on it, you know?
Exactly. Is there a favorite place you've been to? Like you say, like, damn, I gotta.
Dude, honestly, like I've talked about it before. If I could retire anywhere, I'd probably retire in like Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai, yeah, it's up north, in the northern end of Thailand, and then probably either like Porto or Lisbon. Just like I've never been to an area like more clean than Portugal, but the food, like I said, in Porto and Lisbon and just Portugal overall is amazing. Like you could get like a full fish filleted out for you for like $12, and it's like freshly cooked, seasoned like perfect. And
Is that city off the coast?
Porto.
Yeah.
So Lisbon is right off the coast, yeah, and then Porto is like along the Douro River, and it's pretty close to the coastline too. I mean, you could they're both within like walking distance and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, they've got like a huge like seafood like industry there, and then they also have these like little cherry liquor shots. They're called jinja, and everybody kind of makes their own little like liquor shots, and so you just like stop by the little markets or whatever and grab like a shot of food or of the jinja. And it's like €1, which is a little bit more than $1. And then they have these other things too called like pastel de natas. They're like these little like pot pies kind of, but they're sweet. And then on the inside, it's like kind of like a custard, kind of like flan. And then they'd have like a creme brulee top where they like burn the top of it a little bit and sprinkle a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, and you just run up to the little cafe bar, have your little cafecita and your little
Yeah.
nata, and call it a day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
I would say that would
Hell
be
yeah.
like if you and your girl ever want to go
Yeah.
travel, that 10 out of 10, I'd recommend you go to Porto or you go to Lisbon.
Really?
Yeah, 100% hands down because it's close. And also too, if you come back, typically you fly back from JFK, and so along the way there's a little chain of islands called the Azores, and it would be like super romantic for like you and your wife to go out there, explore the countryside. It's super low key. There's not a whole lot of going on. You get to hang out with the locals and stuff. They've got these dope hot springs. One of the hot springs that we went to, you go literally walk right down to the beach, and as the tide goes out, it exposes like the hot water that's just running up underneath the rocks there. So you're literally in the ocean, sitting in the hot springs. I think they're called like Termas de Fiari or Ferraro or something like that. And yeah, it's super wild, but yeah, super beautiful, and the food there is like A1 too, and it's amazing.
A lot of history, dude, in Europe and Asia and stuff. You know that?
Old country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like in the West Coast. West Coast is...
We're new country compared to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. They've got castles and stuff over there. From,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I know Thailand and Bali have a lot of like those architecture. I don't even know their buildings, dude. They're pretty badass. It's got a lot of character. A lot of it's pretty sick. I seen them on when I was watching like the YouTube channels and shit. The guy would just travel everywhere. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
If you were to pick a country to travel to, where would it be?
Shit, dude. I don't even know. I mean,
Yeah, like have you seen anything on the YouTube that you've been watching? Like where you'd want to go?
so I've always liked Europe, but then Europe for me, it's like it just feels like it's too. There's not enough culture. Like you said, Paris. Paris is just like it's just touristy.
Cool, I've been there. Check it off the list.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've liked South America, like Brazil or around that area.
Can you speak Portuguese or anything?
Nah, hell no.
So, dude, it was funny because when we went to Portugal, obviously I can't speak Portuguese. So the next best thing is like trying to speak in Spanish. Well, I didn't know this, but there's some bad blood between the Spaniards and the Portuguese.
Oh, yeah.
So, dude, they would legit be like, no, we don't speak Spanish. Like, we speak Portuguese, or you can speak to us in English. And I'd be like,
Oh shit.
yikes. Like,
Damn.
lo siento, sorry. You know? Like,
Well, they're right next to Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they're border brothers
Yeah,
or whatever.
they
But
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like some super bad blood there. So, like, they don't get along.
Portuguese is very similar to Spanish, though.
Yeah.
I could tell you that.
See, that's what I thought too, because some of the words I could understand, like,
Yeah,
you know,
the
but
re-
other words I'm like, I don't know what you just
The
said.
reason I know is because follow soccer. A lot of the Portuguese, there's a lot of the Brazilians are speaking Portuguese, and I could understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know, they just kind of instead of mejor, they say mejor. Like they have that G instead of the H sound. But a
Yeah.
lot of the words are like that.
That French sound.
Yeah, that's how they taught us in like high school and stuff too. When I took like Spanish classes, like it wouldn't be the same like talking with somebody from like Mexico as like Spain. Like for instance, like they taught us to say like los serviosos for the bathroom, and like in Mexico they say los baños or el baño or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like certain words like that would just be like super different. You know?
It is different, dude. There's like from Mexico down to all the way to Brazil, Spanish, grapes, you could call them like, 7 different ways?
Yeah.
And you don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is this? So it's really different. And I'm sure every language is like that.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, but I don't know, dude. I would probably want to go to Japan. I like the urban life. I like the big city. In Japan, Tokyo is a mega city. Dude, I don't know if you know how they're living. They're like living like on top of each other, and then they got a bunch of towers, and the people that live in those big ass towers, apartments, they don't even go down in the city because the city's with them. Like they got
up in the
everything.
sky.
Everything's connected. And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Have you guys seen like the cube hotels that they have?
The cube hotels, I think I have. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, like have you guys ever seen Tokyo Drift, the Fast and the Furious movie, the third one? Han has like a little garage, and up in the corner of the shop, there's like the little mini like cubicles that they all sleep in.
Yeah,
They have just giant hotels that are like that, where you just sleep in like a tube. It's like a little square, and you put all your stuff in there, and just kind of hang out.
Yeah, I did see it. I did see it in Travel Guide. There is one like that.
Yeah.
So I would do Tokyo or Japan, but I like the urban life, but I also like the the countryside. I like the culture, the everything. So I would probably go like, fuck, dude, maybe Brazil or I don't know, dude. Brazil maybe.
Brazil, yeah. Would you ever go for Carnival
Oh yeah.
when it's super busy?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would.
that's like on my bucket list for sure. I definitely want to go check out
Where
Brazil.
would you go?
I don't know, dude. Tokyo is interesting. I think I would rather go to Egypt. I think Egypt would be tight.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude, that would be wild,
That'd be
man.
my, I think
Go to
that'd
the
be my number
pyramids?
one. Yeah, the pyramids.
Yeah, I heard Egypt has like a lot of like touristy scams, so like I'd brush up a little bit
Oh,
before you go.
yeah?
Yeah, dude, you can get took so easy. Like like they'll like do these crazy things. Like in Paris, we saw a lot of like the gypsies that were running around there, and they would do like these games where they'd have like the ball inside of the cup or whatever, and they'd shuffle the cup around, and you just go and place bets or whatever. But there'd be like 10 of them, and you could tell they're all working together because they're putting like high dollar bets down, like $500, like $5,000, like just crazy dollar amounts.
Yeah.
So they'd like do this whole little exchange thing, like, oh, you lost, you won, and just pass out money to people like they're just random patrons walking by. But you could tell like everybody's working together, just hustling.
Yeah. That's what I hear though in Egypt, that they're gonna hustle you, dude.
Damn.
But I think Egypt would be super rad, dude. 100%.
I think that'd be tight.
Would you go to the pyramids or not?
Yeah, I would love to
Yeah?
go to the pyramids.
That's
Yeah, I
a-
think that would be the main reason why I'd want to
Yeah.
check it
Question: would you guys ever go to Dubai?
Yeah, that's on my list, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to go do the zip line off like the 100-foot tall
Yeah.
buildings or the
Dude,
100-story
dude,
tall
out.
they
Why
got
did
a
you
lot
wait?
of
Why
shit.
did you say would you guys go to Dubai?
I mean, a lot of people don't like the Middle East side of it.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You know, but I heard Dubai has a lot of crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, everybody says
They
that
got
they
like
have
the
some.
biggest, second biggest mall in the world. They
Yeah.
like the aquarium. They have an aquarium in the mall. They got a ski place in the mall, and they got like an underground big ass pool that's kind of like a city when you're at the mall. Dude, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
gotta
see, that's all the stuff you got to check out when you go, man. Like, yeah, just see
Yeah.
everything that you can and just pack as much in as you possibly can.
That's a really interesting place because it hasn't existed for very long.
No, dude,
and
it's
they've
like
done some
20
amazing
years
things in
or
like the
now
last 25 years.
30
Yeah.
now, but dude, it's booming. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Have you guys ever like checked out Singapore or like done any like
Dude, I did research on Singapore, and dude, that shit's crazy though. All
it's like it's like the most technologically advanced city in the world.
yeah.
Like I don't even know how to describe it because like I've only seen it from videos, but some of the stuff that they have over there, dude, just seems like it'd be absolutely insane to go check out.
Dude, I heard that Singapore is it's considered one of the top countries, but no one really knows.
What's the most famous Asian country? There's like if you
Famous or-
if you look up like the top 10 tourist place in the world, there's like one in Asia that maybe it is Singapore.
I think it might be Singapore,
Sing-
Shanghai, Tokyo's one of them. I don't know if Taiwan's not.
I don't know.
No,
how that
Taiwan's
goes
kinda-
on. Its own
its
thing.
own-
Maybe it's
its own-
Singapore that I'm thinking about. But yeah, it's like the number one pick in like Asia, and like they got a lot of tech out there. They got
It's
tech
Singapore.
companies, like a lot of money out
Dude,
there.
they're big money, dude. They're considered big money, dude. And
Yeah.
then the thing about
Like everybody's just driving around in Ferraris and Porsches like it's nobody's business.
Shit.
and the thing is, because some of the videos I've watched, they're like, oh, here are the safest countries, or here are the countries that if you were to leave your laptop in the coffee place, no one's gonna get it.
Mm.
You know, everyone's respectful. Everyone doesn't give a shit. One, because there's a lot of cameras everywhere too. It's pretty controlled, but at the same time, it's still pretty cool. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean with like the whole safety stuff, dude. Is like, I mean, you could walk around downtown Salem and have just as much chance of like, I don't know, getting jumped or robbed. I don't even know, but like you'd have the same exact chances going in a different country. The only thing is you're in a different country, and I mean, I've lost money in different countries. I've lost like my wallet or like my credit card or whatever, and like stuff pans out. You just bring, a couple extra credit cards, like a copy of your passport, so like you can still go do stuff and like not get hassled. Back to the visa one too. I forgot when we went. When we went to China, we just had a quick layover in China. It was like 16 hours overnight, no big deal. Well, we didn't realize before we went that like you have to get a visa just to even leave the airport. Like just to go, we were just gonna go to the hotel and sleep. And they've got some weird like cohabitation laws. So like we went with my two buddies and then their sister. And so we get to the hotel. They're like, you two brothers can stay together, but your sister can't stay in the same room with you because you're not married. So she got paired up with like this random like Chinese lady. Luckily that lady wasn't there. So she got the whole room to herself. And then I got paired up with some random Chinese like old dude. Like he answers the hotel door in like underwear. Doesn't speak a lick of English. And I'm like, hey bro, I'm supposed to stay with you. And he's like, And I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm staying with this guy.
So they didn't let you stay with your buddies?
No, I mean, I went and stayed with him, dude. I was like, there's no way I'm just gonna sleep in this room with this random Chinese guy. Like, no hostility towards him, but like,
Yeah, dude, you don't know him.
he's chilling in his underwear, man. I don't want to disrupt that. Like,
Dude, he was calling you out, dude. You need to chill in your underwear too.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine somebody just comes to your house, you're chilling out, trying to watch TV, and they're like, "Yo, bro, I'm here now." Like, no way.
Shit, dress code, man.
Exactly. Yeah, strictly pants.
Stripped down.
Yeah,
Shit.
strictly underwear.
Shit.
So yeah, no, safety in other countries, man. It's not an issue. I've never had any bad encounters with anybody, and most of the time, dude, like Ireland was probably the nicest country that I've been to as far as like hospitality wise. Like, you go to the airport here, TSA is just like, they're like just in your face, like they've seen it a million times, yada yada, get your bag, go through security, whatever. There, dude, they're like, I was bringing back some whiskey from like Teeling's distillery and then like the Guinness factory, and just bringing some singles and stuff back. And the lady was like, "Oh yeah, you can't have more than like 4 of these in your travel on, but if you're traveling with somebody, we could just separate them out and put them in theirs." And it's like, so super helpful. And then like there was multiple times where we didn't know how to get to like a certain area via like the bus system, and so people would just stop on the side of the road and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you out real quick." Pull out their own phone and like show you how to get to the route that you're trying to hit up. So,
You think Ireland's the friendliest country you've been to?
oh, by far, dude.
Really?
Ireland?
Yeah, Ireland by far.
Interesting.
Yeah, super nice. And like one of the things that's crazy over there too, when you drive in Ireland, you drive on the opposite side of the road, and so like learning how to do stick shift backwards was like kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like we have the fast lane here, and people will just pass you, whatever. If you're in the fast lane and somebody comes riding up on you, they'll just honk till you get over, and like nobody switches lanes, and they just stay fast lane, slow lane.
Yeah.
And it's strictly business. Yeah.
How's the scenery over there? Like do they have like nice?
Yeah, so I would describe it like the Oregon countryside, like the
Right.
western part of Oregon countryside, super scenic, just with like 50% of the people. So like a lot of people don't have houses; they live in like the urban areas, and they just live in like apartments or flats. But out where like they have the homesteads and the farms, dude, it's just like super green. It's like, the climate's exactly like Oregon, and
That's what I hear. Yeah.
yeah,
from
they've got some
Ireland.
bad blood up there too. Like there's a difference between like Northern Ireland and actual Ireland, like where Dublin is versus like Belfast. Like Belfast was like everything was in like miles per hour. Like it was like pounds versus euros too, so you had to like worry about that. And
Yeah.
Damn.
our car was only in kilometers. Like the speedometer was only in kilometers. So like the whole time I'm like running like a app trying to figure out how fast I'm going in miles per hour, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't do the conversion on this like on the fly,
Exactly. Damn, dude.
But
Crazy.
never had any issues. I'd say the only time I had issues driving was probably, I think, in Bali or Thailand. We were driving our mopeds, and the police were out there just doing like checkpoints and stuff for moped drivers, because there's a lot of tourists. And they're like, "You don't have a driver's license for Thai," and we're like, "Well, no, we're from America. Like, we can't speak Thai to take a DMV test."
Yeah, exactly.
So they were like, "All right, $50 or 500 baht, whatever the dollar amount was, and you pay them $50, and you go on your way."
Damn.
Yeah.
You said so. The places you've been to, have you seen other travelers? You said there are not a lot of Americans.
No.
What
like,
countries
none.
have you seen? Like
I mean, a lot of
that
people
you remember? Like
So like from Bali, a lot of people from Australia go up there. That's
Okay.
their Las Vegas, is what they call it. A lot of people from Canada, France. We've seen people from like Belgium, Austria, quite a few Germans. We met one guy randomly from Michigan on our last trip to Porto, or our last trip to Portugal, and kind of just everywhere but here. It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah. Like,
Any Mexicans?
no, I
Not really.
wouldn't say it. More so like Argentinians or Brazilians or
Americans.
like Colombians
Yeah.
or Spanish people, because when you're a European citizen, it's no different than like here. So if you're like a citizen of the U.S., you could travel like Montana or Florida, no questions asked. There's the same thing. If you're part of the European Union or the EU, once you have that European citizenship, you can just kind of
Go
go
anywhere.
wherever you want. Yeah, no visas, nothing, and you're just kind of free to go.
yeah, I heard that you could travel pretty easily in Europe. You just take the train. Oh, I'm gonna go to Spain right now. Boom.
Yeah.
And you're in France. And you just because the U.S. is way bigger than Europe.
Yeah.
The whole I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. And
Mhm.
did you notice that a lot of people speak different languages, certain areas?
Yeah, dude, there's so many like different dialects too, and like when you like, I remember down in like Costa Rica, for instance, like I met these people from Canada and stuff, and like it's so crazy how smart some of the people are. Like I would say every traveler that I've ever met speaks a minimum of 3 languages, like
Mhm.
really good English, really good native language, whatever they're from, and then like a partial third language or like pretty much really good of a third language too.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And then you're like, hey, I'm the American here. Like, I only know English. So you'd get into these groups where people would be talking in like their native languages and stuff, like laughing, having a good time. And you're just like, yo, I wish I knew what they were saying right now. Like, so
Dang.
there's kind of like that aspect to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, dude, like I said, we don't see Americans traveling. But
Yeah.
from everywhere else, yeah, I think everybody's just more open minded to it. And they know how cheap it is. And like, for instance, like we look up like, we do a lot of research on like flights and stuff, and so we typically spend like I would say a ticket to Southeast Asia should cost you anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 one way or round trip. So I think all in all, in total for us, like round trip, the first time we went to Thailand was like $850 round trip. So
Oh,
it's
damn.
super cheap.
That
I mean,
is
you can
cheap.
spend that on a flight to Texas right now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's crazy. Bali, I was like $950, and then I think on this trip, our tickets all in all were right around like $1,100. So once you get over there, though, dude, like if you had $1,100 in your pocket when you went over there, it'd take you as far as like $5,000 would here. Like
Damn.
the
convert-
That's good.
the income to expenditure ratio is just like that far off.
Yeah.
So
When you travel, is I know English is one of the language that a lot of people speak.
yeah.
Is there signs in English or it's just their native language?
It depends. I mean, where you go. Like, if you go to like the more like countryside areas and stuff where like English isn't as popular, like I would say for the most part they're in like that native language. But when you get into like the more popular areas where people travel and stuff too, a lot of the signs are in English. But for the most part, dude, I mean, you could get around just by showing pictures, like doing we call it the show and point method, where you show them and then you point to it.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is what I want, or like I'm trying to get here.
Like, I got you.
Yeah, like multiple times when you get off at the airport too, like people are just in your face trying to like haggle you to like get taxi rides, yada yada yada, and you just show them an address and they're like, oh yeah, I know right where that's at. So, if you're worried about safety, you could Google Maps it yourself and follow it over there. You can download like maps and stuff, or you can buy data plans, and that's typically what we do. Because dude, it's hard being without a phone, like around without Wi-Fi in a foreign country. Like we've done it so much, like it's just kind of second nature to us, but it's just like. Now we're like, why have we been doing this whole time? Like, we could make our lives so much easier if we would just use data over here.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
might as well.
yeah.
What country would you like to visit, John?
Me?
Yeah. Iceland.
Oh, yeah. I've been there for a quick minute. It was just the airport, but it was cold, bro.
It was cold.
Yeah, you got to dress warm over there, but yeah. Have you guys ever, you guys haven't been over there, huh? Yeah.
Nah, hell no.
What draws you to Iceland?
It's pretty.
Pretty, yeah. Lots of the scenery and stuff.
It's green.
Yeah, it is green. Lots of situations. One of my ideal goals is seeing like the perfect aurora borealis, and that supposedly has some amazing spots to go see during the winter.
Damn, dude.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
So has your perspective changed? Because I know earlier you were saying that you would retire out in Thailand.
Yeah.
Did your perspective change after traveling?
Yeah, 100%, man. Because you see, like for instance, I chipped my tooth over there. Like I was riding like a mechanical bull, fell off. Yeah, bro.
Damn, where you going?
We missed a lot of stories, dude.
Yeah, dude. I got pictures of it on my Instagram. But I busted my tooth off. And funny story, like they have bars over there too where they have boxing rings and stuff, and so you go box tourists for drinks.
What?
Dude, yeah. So we were like on a mission to go over there, and I was like, yo, I gotta ride this bull first. So I ride it, get my tooth chipped out, and then some other things happened, and my buddy ended up breaking his hand. And so we go to the hospital there in the middle of this island, and for him to get like casted, X-rays, medications, all that stuff that would cost like probably $4 or $5 here. I think he paid under $100 for all that stuff.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, I
Cheap.
mean, the healthcare over there is like a little barbaric and stuff. It's a little different than it is here. But it's cheap, and like the people are super nice. And there's so much culture there, dude. You're like overwhelmed by it. So I would say my perspective has changed 100% since traveling. Like that's all I want to do. Like if I could do it full time, I would do it in a heartbeat. Just there's too much stuff to see, dude.
Hell yeah, I bet. So you're going to Vietnam tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is that the only place you named?
No,
Different
we're
cities,
gonna
right?
spend 3 weeks there, 4 weeks there, roughly, and then we're gonna go back to Thailand. And
Thailand, right?
check out all the
Okay,
stuff. Yeah,
okay.
because
But Thailand, you've been Thailand before.
yeah, like I
But-
said though, the first time we went, we were like super nervous to go
Okay,
travel
yeah.
around, and so now that we're like, yo, we can literally just go do whatever we want and like not worry about being away from each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go see all the stuff we missed, and
Cool, cool.
yeah, man.
I like Thailand is the. You ever seen that movie?
Which one?
Fuck, what is that movie called? They go to Thailand.
Is that the one where the tsunami hits them?
No, that fucking movie. That it's like they're getting drunk and shit. Hangover.
Hangover too.
Yeah. You never seen that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know I watched
They
the
get
first one
lost
for
and
sure.
shit. It's a bunch of animals out in the market and stuff.
Yeah.
Monkeys.
I watched the first one for sure, but I know I watched the second one, but I just remember brief things about the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next year? Do you have you planned next year or nah?
No,
It's like as you go.
so before COVID hit, dude, I had 6 weeks off. I was gonna go to Spain, and like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I was gonna go run with the Bulls. That's like been on my bucket list forever. Where I go run Pamplona, and COVID hit, and so I sat at home for 6 weeks because the entire world was shut down. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably on my agenda.
Are you talking about where you're out in the street and you're just running around?
No, man, like they have a festival every
Yeah.
July. It's like the 7th through the 14th, and one of the guys that I work with has actually done it, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Dude, it was the craziest thing ever," and I was like, "I have to do that."
Yeah.
But yeah, so they barricade off all the streets with like cattle gates and stuff, and then they put gravel and stuff down so the bulls don't slip around, whatever, yada yada. But I want to say they released like 7 to 14 of them, and so you're just in these chutes, literally just running through the streets away from these bulls.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you end up in like this giant coliseum at the very end of it, and it looks like it'd be the most
Yeah.
fun, dude. Like,
Have you seen that?
I've seen that in
Yeah.
a lot of movies.
I seen it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Don't they wear all white and red?
yeah, and then I
Right,
think
or
they
some-
wear like a red sash or something like that.
Dude,
but-
they're just running, dude.
Yeah.
Shit gets crazy. Sometimes like the bulls just hit them and shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like a couple 1,000-pound animal just like giving you a little body check, but
Just
I
a
don't know,
little.
dude. Something about it just sounds like the most fun. You know?
I think that'd be tight. I think
You
that'd be
know?
tight.
Like, could you imagine telling your kids that story? You're like, yeah,
Damn,
you
we're
know,
over there.
oh, dad over here.
All
just
that
broke-
happened was he just chipped my tooth.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to
You know, you
box
should've
someone
seen
to get
his
some
face.
beers.
Exactly.
That's tight. Yeah, we need to go to a country where you have to box for beer, dude.
Yeah, dude,
That'd be tight.
it's crazy, man. Like you see guys get laid up and stuff, and you're like, dude, this is the craziest thing. Like you've never seen anything like it in America.
Thailand's big in kickboxing.
Yeah,
Did you
they've
ever
got
see
Muay
that? Did you ever
Thais.
see? Yeah, Muay Thai. Did you see anything like that around?
No, dude. So we were like so busy doing other stuff, and like one of the things that they don't talk about traveling is how you lose time when you're like, just actually traveling. So for instance, like Thailand, I think is like 12 or 14 hours ahead of us, plus a day or whatever. So when you book your ticket, I mean, you spend 2 days essentially getting there because you have the layovers plus the time zone change plus jet lag, however long it takes you to get over that. So you lose, 4 or 5 days of your trip just from those things. So we only went for 2 weeks. So I mean, essentially, we were only there for like a week and a half at minimum. And Thailand is massive, so trying to get around to catching flights, like a flight takes 30 minutes an hour, but you got to show up to your flight 2 hours early or pack or do whatever. So those are just like other little factors that like people don't necessarily think about. So when you go travel like Southeast Asia or anywhere, like I'd really recommend at least going for like 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
but I wish, man. But that's on the agenda this time. We're definitely going to go see a Muay Thai fight over there. And,
Ooh.
yeah. You guys ever remember like those old Van Damme movies
Yeah.
with John Claude?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like Bloodsport and like
Yeah.
Kickboxer and stuff. I was like, yo, I got to go see some of these fights.
I heard they get down over there. Dude.
I heard- yeah, I've
they
seen some videos,
it's pretty
yeah.
nasty. What do you think of El Salvador? I know
Uh,
it's changed. I don't know if you heard lately that they do like Bitcoin. They cleaned it up. It's like a tourist place now. Like it's just so different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to do some research and stuff on
Okay.
it. Honestly, yeah, I've never even looked into like
Yeah.
El Salvador. Maybe I think that is one of the countries that's a part of that Costa Rican visa, though.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
You heard about it, right?
Yeah, it's there's the
Because a
new
lot of
president.
Americans are going down there now.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people go like a lot of expats retire in
Mm-hmm.
like Belize, and a lot of them retire like Costa Rica and stuff.
Yeah, they got a new president, and their new president's doing some big changes. He's a young guy, and he's doing huge changes that have never been done before. He built like the biggest prison in like that side of the I think that side of the world. This side of the world, it's like
Yeah.
the biggest prison, and it's like massive, and everybody because they had a bad gang problem with the MS-13, and everybody that even had tattoos, even if they weren't associated with them anymore, everybody's just locked up. And then now it's like the first time in like a really, really long time where people can actually go out after dark and like big changes. Now a lot more Americans have been going over the last couple months because now they consider it safe now.
Huh.
Right, they consider it safe, but I think it has to do a lot with the form of payment they're taking.
Well, their economy took a shit. That's why they went to Bitcoin because their money is worthless.
Yeah, so he's trying
Was
to
this
do.
inflation super bad or what?
Inflation, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think he's trying to do the whole Bitcoin or whatever that
he
is.
had no option. The reason why they went to Bitcoin was because of how bad their money took a
But
shit.
I know, but he's making it work because
Oh,
all the
yeah, he
other
is
countries there
definitely making it
have took
work.
a shit, but
Yeah.
he's making it work. So a lot of Americans are saying, "Look, dude, let's fucking go to El Salvador. Let's start doing this. Let's start doing that." He's getting the big companies. I mean, the only reason I said it is because I hear a lot of things about El Salvador.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
it's pretty
I mean, I've always
interesting.
wanted to go back,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
to
pretty
Costa Rica. And
interesting.
if it's down there, I mean, I might check it out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty dope, man. That you travel and stuff. You do it once a year, huh? Try to do it once a
Yeah,
year?
and then I'll do like a littler trip, like a couple months down the road and stuff. It's too. It's like I don't know. It's like just trying to fill that cup up with like that adventure-ness. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like taking that much time off traveling and only doing it once a year is like it's not enough, dude. Like you need that
Yeah.
that fix, that medicine.
Exactly.
Like you need
yeah.
it, and so like I've got another couple of weeks off coming up in like the end of the year, so I might go to Japan again and just
Yeah.
spend a couple of weeks there, check it out, just because it's only like a 13-hour flight, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
But yeah,
That's dope,
Do you even want to travel within the states now? Do you even travel within the states?
dude, no, not really. I mean, like people are like, oh, let's go to Hawaii, and I'm like,
Eh.
yeah, man, I've seen it, like done it, cool, whatever. I was like, let's go to Bali though and buy Roman candles and shoot them on the beach at like 4 o'clock in the morning, like
Yeah.
that sounds way cooler than going to Hawaii and
Just living that.
going to get some shave
yeah.
ice. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think maybe like when I get older and retire, like I'll probably just buy like a travel trailer. Go, if I don't end up doing Thailand, just buy a travel trailer and just start going around the United States. Because I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff to see here. It's just when it costs $10 a meal to eat here versus like $10 a day down there,
It's a big difference.
and I get to go
huge.
experience the culture. Like
Yeah.
that just sounds like I would way rather go do that.
Yeah.
So plus, like you come back and you tell stories of people that don't really travel and stuff, and like, man, I wish that I could do that. And it's like you can. I'm only doing it because I bought the
Yeah.
ticket. Like you could buy the ticket the same one I bought.
So,
You just got to pull the trigger.
it's not very
and-
expensive, you say. So.
no,
right?
dude, it's really
Yeah.
not. Like, we went to Bali for a month, and I think all in all, with the plane ticket included, I spent less than $2,000. You can't do that here, dude. Like the scooter
Damn.
rentals were $50 for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The lodging is like $5 a day. So I mean, you do the math. That's only like $150. Like
Damn.
you could spend a lot of money just balling out, doing other stuff. And if balling out's your lifestyle, like you can totally do that. You can go to Thailand and get a 5-star resort for $150 a night. You can get it made. Like like the world's just kind of your oyster, dude. And it's
Yeah.
just whatever you make it. Like
It's pretty badass, dude.
What do you think the biggest thing you've learned about people from traveling all these countries?
the biggest thing I've learned about people. Oh, dude, probably just how different everybody is. Cause like I was saying, like I grew up in small town USA where there's like everybody's super right wing, super conservative, like nobody's open minded to anything. And then you just get all these same opinions and you start formulating that same opinion because you don't have like any experience from the outside world. And like when you only hear the thoughts of, 1,000 people, like, you kind of start thinking like the same things. And then you go to college, like a Shemeketa, like even that was a culture shock. Cause I'm like, bro, there's like people here that have like different skin color than me and like speak different languages. And like, I met a super cool dude from Africa. His name's Kona at like a cultural event where we like went and just tried different foods from other places. And just like, I feel like that's probably the biggest thing is just learning how different everybody is. And like, you just have to be open-minded. Cause like we talked to a guy from Vietnam. He's like, oh yeah, it's totally normal that we eat dog. And like, before I was like, a dog, dude, like that's somebody's pet. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, I might try some dog, like I'd be down to do it once, and if I don't know what it is, maybe, I don't know what could happen.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah,
Exactly. But I mean, I'm just learning everybody's culture, man, and just experiencing that is probably the biggest thing I've learned, and just being open-minded about where people come from, and, inequality is equality, everybody's equal in the same ways. They just have different backgrounds and come from different things. So
Do you guys ever meet any locals and you guys hang out with them and they kind of give you like a small tour for like a day or two or something like that?
I mean, no, because typically the locals that we live with that we hang out with would be just people that we meet, and they'd be like, "Oh, dude, let's go check out like my favorite restaurant," or like, let's go check out like one of my favorite places to like go get beers at or whatnot. They have guide services and stuff that you can hire that where people are local from. Like we went and hiked up to this place in Guatemala called Mount Acatenango. It was like I want to say it was like a 10-kilometer hike uphill, and the guide that was there, he spoke Spanish, and then he spoke pretty good English and stuff too, so we were able to talk with him too. But we paid, I think, $50 for that, and just got like the experience. And we hiked up this giant mountain, hiked above the clouds, and like we were able to see like all the mountains and the different volcanoes like exploding, and we were camping up there, not in a hotel, but in like an actual tent, and we were just sitting there right across the canyon and just watching this volcano explode, dude. And it was
That's pretty
wild.
badass. That sounds pretty cool.
Dude, it was wild. But yeah, so I would say that no, I mean, you could hire that stuff out, but typically, like, if we're gonna go get a guide, I mean, we would just meet up with somebody local and be like, yeah, dude, we want to check out like everything that like, and what you think is cool.
Because when I've looked at this, I forget his name, but this guy, he would just randomly just go anywhere, and he was like, oh, I just met this local, whatever. We were kicking it, and then I told him if he could show me around, and then show him around for like at least a day or two, kind of tell him, hey, watch out for this, or do this, or let's try this, and but
where was that at?
That this guy travels everywhere, but he does a lot of South America, and he was in Colombia, Brazil. He actually went to the favelas. Have you heard in Brazil, the favelas? Like, they say it's dangerous. You heard about that, right? No?
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's like all the houses that are like stacked up on top.
All stacked,
They're like, what do you mean dangerous?
It's dangerous. If you're not from there, it's going into a hood. You're going.
That's what I've heard.
You're going in there. It's like people look at you. It's like in the movies. Have you seen that?
Yeah. If you're not from there, I mean, they know you're not from there.
Yeah, but favelas are. It's like its own unique city within the city. It's like they don't even get out of the favela to go outside of the city because everything's in there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that'd be wild. I don't think I'd ever go in somewhere like that. Like without a local.
They say that shit's crazy, dude. This guy goes everywhere though. He's like, oh, I just this local. As long as I'm with him, we're good. He says, and so it's like, and then he's recording. It's like, dude, I'm risking it, but I love to do this, and it is what it is. But fuck it. If I don't do it, then I will never know. And he's just there with the local, and then people just look at him. But if you're with someone that they know, they're not gonna mess with you. It's like when Mexico. When I was in Mexico, I remember they would tell me in the neighborhood, they're like, hey, as long as you're with your aunt or your cousin, no one's gonna tell you anything because they're from that street. They're not gonna say anything to you. But if you go to a different hood, they're gonna look at you like, what are you doing here? Where are you from? Like, you're not from here. You're from the U.S. or whatever.
So your families are like kind of established, and they like don't mess with this guy.
Yeah. And that's I feel like a lot of countries are like that. A lot of places because a lot of the country here in the U.S. What I've noticed is that you would buy a house, you move, you don't actually live there unless you're out in the country. Down in other places, you don't buy your house, you build your house, and so a lot of the generational families are in that same neighborhood. And so everybody knows your grandpa. Everybody knows your grandma.
That makes sense.
So, the whole street, everybody knows you, right? So, like, stay with the people you know, and no one's going to talk to you. No one's going to mess with you. So, I feel like a lot of places are like that.
Yeah, I bet family's, like, pretty big because I feel like here, like, you have a couple kids. One could move to Texas, and never hear from them again. Or, I mean, the family aspect of, like, the American culture is just not really there. We put people in like nursing homes and stuff when they turn like 65 or whatever. You're like, okay, they can deal with it,
Yeah. It is a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your guys' like culture like with family and stuff? Like, is there like, I mean,
nursing homes don't exist.
Yeah. You take care of them until the day that they're gone.
Yeah, man.
That's cool, man. That's like super respectable.
Yeah. It's different. But I don't know. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool though. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa's actually, 97 years old, and he's still going strong.
Really?
He's still going strong. The reason I say that is, did you notice when you were in Asia, was there a lot of older people? Because I hear China and Asia have the oldest population.
I know for sure, like Japan does. China probably does up there too. And I don't know if it's what's in their food, dude, or if they're just like stay active and whatnot. Because like, I mean, American culture is super sedentary and stuff. So I think that obviously plays a lot to like muscle degeneration, and then like, obviously, like, being active and stuff isn't super huge here yet. So if you're not already fit to begin with and you just kind of start losing muscle and gaining weight when you get older, I feel like that's just kind of a recipe for disaster. But I definitely know that like the oldest people in the world live over in like Japan.
Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
the Asian places, dude, they're like pretty.
Yeah, but as far as like experiencing like super, like not super, I guess, but just elderly people in general, I mean, typically we're out doing like all the fun things. And so, I mean, you don't see no 80-year-old grandma like rolling around the back of a pickup truck. So like, it's a little different, but I mean.
Do you guys ever ride around pickup trucks down there or not?
Yeah, but we were in Thailand. We like that's how we got to like our elephant sanctuary.
Yeah.
They take it like on like a
You,
four.
you guys are in the back and shit? Or?
Yeah, dude. We're just in there hanging out with some Canadians, drinking some
Yeah.
beers, and hanging out
Hell
on the way
yeah.
to the elephant sanctuary, and you know, like
down in Mexico, they do the same shit, huh?
That's normal.
That's normal.
Yeah.
That's the normal. Here, you gotta like sit down, and it looks awkward.
Seat
People look
belts.
at you, they're like, "What is he doing behind the pickup truck?"
yeah.
No, down there it's like normal, dude. Everyone's there
No
just cruising.
seatbelts. Just
Yeah,
It's
like
just
in
having a good
Guatemala, they have
time.
like the chicken buses and stuff that
Oh,
you hop
yeah,
on,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
They're all tricked out and everything, super cool. And
How
then
do you
like,
say it in Spanish?
Shit, I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
Pollera?
no, dude.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. But I know
I'll
you're
think
talking
about it.
I
I'll
know
think
you're
about
talking
it.
yeah. They're super cool. And then like even just like traveling down to Mexico and stuff, they have like the city buses that you hop on and like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a peso or whatever, like maybe. And you got like the kids running around like no parents, and they got their animals and stuff just chilling out, and like it's cool, man. Like you don't get that stuff in America. Like
Did you see? I always hear that a lot of countries, like, you see them a lot happier than in the States.
yeah,
And a lot of the times they say it's because there's no stress. Yes, they don't have a lot of money, but
Yeah.
it's family, it's memories, it's culture, it's having fun, it's do you notice that, or is that just
honestly, dude, I would say yeah. Like, I mean, you hear people talk about here, and they're like, always talking about work and like how stressed out they are because I feel like it goes back to that work-life balance, dude. Everybody, I mean, whoever decided that you work 5 days a week and only get 2 off, like, that's not it, man. But yeah, like everybody's just so active, and they're all hanging out with their families, and it's nothing to like stop by the bar or the pub and grab like a little coffee and hang out and talk to your neighbor, or just go get like a little sandwich or something for lunch. And like the people there too, they're always out doing something, like even at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Like that's kind of when things start winding down. They had their super late dinner, or they're going out eating like tapas, like the little finger foods and stuff. That's like super big out there. But yeah, I feel like people just in general are so much happier. And I honestly, dude, I think what it comes down to is probably like their water sources and their food. Because like in America, you have so many additives and everything, like
processed food.
pesticides, processed foods, sugar. I think it just kills people's mood, man. And like everything's so easily accessible as far as like transportation and stuff goes. You just get in your car versus like walking somewhere. And like back to the food though, like when we went to Portugal, man, like you know how you go to the store here and like you get organic food and it's like 3 times the price of like the processed stuff. There it's completely flip-flop, dude. Like if you want to get like a Snickers bar, dude, it's like $6. Like, or like even just like regular chicken. Like I remember going to like Costa Rica, the meat markets that they have down there, dude, and you could get like a whole chicken for like $5, bro. Like it's so crazy.
it's the opposite?
And then like you have so many people out selling like little vegetables and like the like, fruits and bananas and manzanas and everything. And
I do hear that a lot of countries, for example, down in Mexico, I do know that Doritos or Cheetos, they're different than the ones here.
yeah,
because
they
there are
taste different.
certain ingredients they're not allowed over there.
Like you said,
s-
the flavors.
in
different
other
flavors.
countries is the same way.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And I think all that stuff just like contributes, you know, obviously like to obesity and stuff. And I mean, I don't know the hormonal structure of everything, but I'm sure that relates into people's moods at some point, you know,
I'm sure.
on a cellular
Yeah.
level. And, you know, then people get depressed because they're overweight and unhappy. And it's just like, take a look at what you're putting in your body, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And I don't really think that there's a way that you can help it here because, I mean, we don't control what goes into our food. The only thing you can control is what goes into your body.
Yeah, and then you're just blasted here, dude. With everything, social media, you're always distracted. You're always on the go. You're always working. You're always
Yeah.
kind of like, is that hustle environment? But I feel like you kind of lose what someone should experience. You know, kind of what you're doing, which is traveling and
Yeah.
kind of getting to know everything.
Yeah, it's really opened up my eyes, man. Like I said, that work-life balance is so key. Like to be stressed enough to where like it's good on you, but then also have that time to like decompress and spend time with your family and your friends and like really just maximize life, especially when you're young, dude. Like you only get so much time before, you know, the world goes dark. So
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, you pretty much have from what 20s all the way to a certain age, and you're kind of already there.
Yeah,
Especially,
dude.
especially if you don't like exercise or work out and
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
Gets-
And like even from like 20 to 30, dude, like there's a huge stress. I don't know how it is with you guys, but like there's just this huge stress to like get ahead, you know, do good, get a job. And it's like, dude, you could literally spend the first 20 or 10 years of your 20s, like till you're 30 and not have anything figured out. Like I just got lucky and I already knew what I wanted to do. And though like working that job has afforded me all of these opportunities to go do the things that I've loved. And I'm super grateful for that. But like, if you could just scrounge pennies together, dude, and go experience some things in your 20s and 30s, like you don't have to have it all figured out. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you still got 25 years you can put into a job and retire by 55.
Yeah,
You know?
and I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people saying, let's change what success is. And they say, well, it's because you grew up, success has to be this, this, and this, and that. But is it really, or is it just
Yeah.
what they want you to do, right?
Yeah. Have you guys ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki?
Yeah.
Dude, that book changed my life. Like, you see people that are working jobs, you know, like the American dream, like buy a house that you can't afford, buy a truck that you can't afford, show off all these like super nice things. And it's just like at that point, you get wrapped up in so much debt that you're working to live to afford those things that you like love. But at the end of the day, like you just need a car that goes from point A to point B. Doesn't matter what it is. You need like a roof over your head, somewhere where you can cook meals and spend time with the people that you love. And you know, it doesn't have to cost you $1,000 a month to live. Like, I mean, you could live off bare bones if you wanted to. Like, I had my first car payment that I started paying off, like that I just started like 2 years ago, and I'm like, bro, what else could I be doing with this money? Like, I hate it, but I love it. You know, like
exactly.
I know that at the end of the day, though, like I'm not working to afford that. Like, I know that the money's coming in no matter what. Like, I don't have to work anymore. Don't have to work any less. That money's always gonna be there.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, when you like Robert Kiyosaki said, like when you start getting that money to work for you as like employees and stuff, and you're not having to be the one to work, it gives you time to spend, you know, with your daughter, your wife, or you know
It's
your girlfriend.
a time, basically.
You're trading it.
Yeah.
It's time for money. And if you can get your money to work for you while you sleep, then you don't got to work as much, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, like one of the
pretty
best books I've ever read.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
Oh, yeah, great book.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's awesome, dude. It sounds dope, dude, what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So, you got any other questions before we wrap it up, or?
No, man. It's really I guess it's fun to see other people's perspectives, and especially from someone like yourself that has seen so many different countries.
Yeah.
I find that super interesting, and no, it was fun learning.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, if you guys like the video, like and follow. But dude, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you coming through. I haven't talked to you for a long time, you know.
yeah, thank you guys, dude. This has been awesome. I love
pretty-
your guys' setup, and yeah,
pretty
hanging out with
cool.
you guys has been fun.
Where can we follow everyone again?
I'm on Instagram. My personal account is Tijuana.Jim, and then our travel page is Zone 3 Abroad. It's ZON3_abroad. And yeah, we just post a little bit of
Hell
content
yeah.
and stuff out there. And
There you
so,
go.
yeah, like and follow, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Last thing, where'd the name Tijuana come from?
Dude, I don't even know. I think just randomly traveling because my name's TJ.
Yeah.
So I think they just made up like an acronym and then it came because I speak a little bit of Spanish too. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It kind of happened one day. And
For some reason, I thought you were gonna come in. You were gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I was raised in Tijuana." And
I wish, man. I
Dude,
wish.
yeah, it's Tijuana. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, Tijuana.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, it is funny.